I'm Alexandra Gumenyuk, moderator of this panel, and I would like to invite to the scene Adam Balog, head of Ukraine Energy Support Task Force Unit, Energy Community. Adam, you are welcome to the scene. Denis Kostuk, acting head of Business Development Department, Naftogaz. Adomas Auditskas, Deputy CEO, MHP. And Anna Shodra, partner, attorney at law, co-head of KPMG Law in Poland, head of energy sector at KPMG CE region. Unfortunately, regarding the very intensive and difficult situation right now in energy in Ukraine, Deputy Minister Mykola Kolesnik had to leave earlier today. So I would like briefly to cover what's going on, latest developments in biomethane, in green gases in Ukraine. Shortly and briefly about myself, I'm honored to contribute with my expertise, having more than 10 years in the renewable energy sector, working experience. I support Ministry of Energy, the reform support team with my expertise for the further reforms. And also I'm honored to cooperate with Amongas, Danish technology supplier of biomethane. And Amongas has large experience in biomethane in Denmark. Half of all biomethane in Denmark comes from Amongas installations. So I'm honored to be invited to moderate this panel discussion regarding biomethane, knowing the largest impact in that. And of course, I would like to invite to the scene Pavel Stanchek, director of the delegate on the EU GTS Ukraine. Thank you so much. Ukraine has made significant progress in developing a modern and internationally aligned biomethane market. Our bilateral Ukrainian, meaning bilateral memorandum of understanding on renewable and synthetic gases with European Commission, endorsed in 2024 and approved by Ukrainian Parliament in February 2025, provides a robust long-term framework. Today, Ukraine is systematically implementing the roadmap on green gases, renewable gases, and integrating national systems with the EU market architecture. Ukraine has created all core legal conditions for the production, transportation, injection, and export of biomethane. Updated regulations, customs procedures, sustainability certification rules, and technical standards now mirror EU requirements. This foundation ensures that Ukrainian biomethane can be physically injected into the gas grid and legally exported to the EU on equal terms. 5 enterprises, if I'm not mistaken, already with the combined capacity of 100 million cubic meters per year were launched last and this year to produce biomethane, both injected into the gas grid and supply liquid biomethane. In February this year, Ukraine completed the first ever biomethane exports to Germany, an important milestone proving market readiness. Ukrainian producers have also accumulated biomethane in underground storage, demonstrating system flexibility and export preparedness. I would like also to emphasize the significant potential of the Ukrainian market for the production of biomethane, with largest agricultural sector in Ukraine. It is the forecast of the production of biomethane potentially up to 10 billion cubic meters annually, and with the most optimistic scenarios it can be doubled. And today at our panel we have significant guests with expertise. We will little bit change the order of our speakers because Adam said that he urgently has to leave earlier today. So Adam, representing energy community, may I ask you as my first question, how do you see the development of the Ukrainian regulatory framework? What has been done by Ukrainian authorities to let biomethane go to be developed and traded? And what is on side of European Commission right now? What should be implemented on their side?
Thank you very much for the invitation to the Secretariat that we can be here. My name is Adam Balog. I'm leading the team of the Ukraine Energy Support Fund, which is operating the fund. I am formerly member of the gas unit, hence I'm also now representing them with the messages that I will relate to you. Now, we have to separate the export part and the national internal market with regard to the potential to export biomethane. Now, there has been very significant progress, creative solutions also, and quick solutions by Ukraine to comply with the requirements by a number of players, including GTSOUA, including investors, including the state administration, to comply with the requirements to be able to export the biomethane. And a couple of them, of course, in line with the 2023 memorandum, which was signed between Ukraine and the European Union about the Ukrainian potential and the further cooperation in being able to export biofuels. Ukraine has overcome the natural export ban by specifically categorizing biomethane, which was, of course, an internal requirement to be able to export, but that has been solved. Secondly, there is an obligation in place in Ukraine to keep the biogas in storage for 1 month to be able to make sure that the balancing of the fuel also happens with biogas, with biomethane to be exact, which is also happening and implemented in Ukraine. We understand that the customs legislation has been adopted to accept the international certificates based on the international global schemes for the certification, which are recognized by the European Union. And indeed, quite forward-looking solution is that there is pilot phase ongoing to export biogas. Oh, there is the presentation. May I have the...
So there is the presentation.
Or can we... Ah, that's it. Okay. Thank you. Yes, that's the slide I'm talking about. So now you have it also in front of you. So there is pilot phase to export biogas in liquid form to the European Union as a liquid biofuel, which has been ongoing in line with the RED II directive. And we also have to state that the RED directive alignment is ongoing for the national market. This is a treaty obligation of Ukraine being member of the energy community. And the work is in progress. With our support, I can say a bit more about that. So the private sector is ready, to scale up. A number of solutions have been put in place administratively and practically as well to enable that. And a couple of steps looking forward which are required. So as you probably are all aware, there is the union database at the European Union level, which is already established for biofuels, which at a certain point contracting parties should be included, including Ukraine. So the EU level and member state level recognition of third country certificates in terms of the voluntary industry schemes. So that is what Ukraine internally is now recognizing, and that is recognized in the European Union as well. So Ukraine's recognition until the national framework is adopted to RED II, that could be applicable also in the European Union, but there are steps to be taken in that regard. And of course, as I mentioned, so full implementation of Renewable Energies Directive on the national market, regardless of the export, that is needed. And of course, looking ahead longer term, we see the interest not only in Ukraine, but also very much of certain member states for the hydrogen potential of Ukraine. And there is also interest in so-called projects of mutual interest PMIs under the 10E regulation for hydrogen projects linking Ukraine to the European Union in the long term. So there definitely we are talking about long term. But the message is what is not solved now for biomethane will come back much more complicated when we talk about hydrogen in the long term. And here, guarantees of origin, balancing, IP rules, and the update of the third energy package now requires the member state to treat, to have the same rules in place as of February, except that there is an exemption requested by the member state toward third countries. Now I'm talking about the physical interconnection points, which brings another help or a level playing field compared to the previous situation where this was happening on a voluntary basis. So let's see how that develops, but I think Pavel can also elaborate further on that. So our role, we have been there and remain to be there for the legislative alignment. We are in close contact with and cooperation with Ministry of Energy, with TSO, with the partners. We provide advisory input for the guarantees of origin certification, and we are in very close cooperation with the European Union as for all legislative and regulatory alignments. Yes, we are providing guidance on hydrogen certification and for application under the existing network codes, and in general also provide technical assistance when that's requested, and we have found the means to do so for specific questions as well. So with that, I very much thank you for the opportunity, for the time, and we remain available. And we have a suppliers workshop for the fund, for supplier companies who are selling equipment through the fund to Ukraine, and that's where I have to go to because we have to open it with the ministry. And with that, I'm sorry to leave, and I thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, Pavel, if you don't mind, you as a representative of gas transmission system operator of Ukraine, could you share your latest developments regarding the gas grid infrastructure, expert specifics, challenges with the transportation of biomethane and ongoing projects? I know you have the presentation.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do have,
Great.
and thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say that about the beauty of the biomethane. The beauty is that it is well spread across the country and is very difficult to hit. If something is centralized and the big power, then it's easier to target. And this is the, let's say, potential we assess from our point of view. It is possible that until 2030, we can achieve 1 BCM inside Ukraine of production, which half of this could be exported to EU. And the truth is that some of the amounts were already, I would like to, it is rather like a test regime, but it was already exported. Even if the UDB, which is this database, is still not available and we are waiting for it, it allows us furthermore to export even more. So in 2040, it was injected. Adam mentioned it. There's the regulation that first this gas has to be counted and balanced in the underground system storage, and then it could be next month could be exported, for example, or used inside. Unfortunately, there is not so many incentives in Ukraine to use green, let's say, fuel. So that's why the producers are looking for the exporting, because in in Europe, there is a possibility to use this greener part of this fuel, because for us this is still simply methane, and we like it in our underground system storage as well as in the pipes, and it doesn't differ so much from the natural gas we transport today. Next, I would like to emphasize there's always difficulty. It will be in a minute. Adam will discuss about it. There is a three scenario we can connect the producer to the network. It could be via DCO, this is the distribution system operator, or directly to the TCO, transmission system operator. And the beauty of the connecting to DCO is that the producer don't have to increase the pressure additionally, and what is produced could be delivered to the clients. Everybody are happy. This is win-win. The problem is with the swing, with the winter and summer. During the summer, there is no many clients who are eager to take methane, and that's why there's another solution. It could be, as you see, option 3. Then it could be compressed and given to the higher pressure to the TCO, but it is more costly. And there is a third option that if it is a big producer, it could be directly connected to TCO, and then there is no problem with the swing. It could be easily, the molecules even could be even stored in underground system storage. So the future, as we see, this is the very good solution for Ukraine, and I think this is win-win, and we talk about it on previous panels, so I don't want to repeat. I know that there is a lack of time, so thank you.
Thank you so much, Pavel. Maybe just to catch right now the topic that you discussed and raised, considering the launch of biomethane export and the growing importance of data transparency for sustainability and compliance, is the guest TSO of Ukraine prepared to provide data to the UDB? How is it right now?
Yeah, so for us, can I come back to this presentation? It's easier to deliver the data if it is connected directly to the transmission system operator, because this is the agreement between us and the producer, and we somehow are owner of the data. So this option 1. Or option 3, if it is compressed. If it is connected only to the distribution system operator, then we have to solve it internally in Ukraine and have right to deliver this data. But there is another thing which might help. This is in changes in the technical law from the ministry level, which allow us to sell not cubic meters, but energy. Then, I mean, not sell this, but to deliver the energy. Then it is easier, because very often this is lower calorific value comparing to what we have from the gas producers of the natural gas. There is no many like ethane, so heavy hydrocarbons in biomethane. There is only methane and some impurities. And then those two things might help to deliver this data to UDB. Nevertheless, there's still no UDB. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pavel. Dear Denis, I would like to ask you to share regarding the Ukraine's infrastructure for the safe trading, storage and supply of biomethane available for the off-takers and biomethane producers regarding the Naftogaz capacities. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Denis Kostyuk. I'm head of business development of Naftogaz Group, and I would like to talk about Naftogaz vision in the development of biomethane market in Ukraine. Can you show the? Just I don't see it here. Okay, so we consider Naftogaz as the market operator, which has all the necessary infrastructure in order to create value on this market, starting from connection of biomethane plants, transportation, storage, and biomethane offtake as well. So a little bit more detailed about these services, starting from the connections. Following this discussion about the connection, we are the operator of gas distribution system with the total potential is up to 2.4 billion cubic meters per year of injection biomethane plants. And there are some advantages, like a lot of locations, very well widespread network across Ukraine. But there are some restrictions, like, for example, the supply of biomethane in the summertime. There are options how to deal with these issues. For example, the installation of reverse compressors, like my colleague already told, and also there is the option of redesign the network. And our company, Gazmereji, which is the operator of gas distribution system, roughly like 90% of Ukrainian network, developed several pilot projects for reconnecting the consumers, so basically circling the consumers in order to increase the capacity. For example, in Khmelnytsky region, we have a plant with capacity of 3 million cubic meters per year. And if we accomplish pilot project, then this capacity can be increased up to 58 million cubic meters. And we know that in this region, there are a lot of agricultural farms who have the willing to construct biomethane plants, and it is very important for them. Of course, such equipment like telemetry, gas metering units, gas pipelines required, and it is highly a lot of capex is required for this. So we are looking for financing, and particularly grant financing for such pilot projects. Also, there is a possibility to connect directly to Ukrgazvodobuvanya infrastructure, and the total capacity is rather big, up to 1.2 billion cubic meters per year. But the availability of locations is quite limited, only in the eastern and western part of Ukraine. So, on the basis of our Gazmereji company, we're establishing so-called service center where companies can apply and receive all the necessary information regarding what is the best spot for connection, what is the cost, what equipment required, what is the timeline, and etc. And we are planning to increase the operational efficiency of the center. And our company, Ukrtransgaz, which is the operator of gas storages, has all the necessary and qualified staff in order to provide services like engineering services, turnkey connections, maintenance, repair services, so everything that is required for the biomethane infrastructure. And of course, we are ready to provide storage services. As you already mentioned, Ukrainian companies are obliged to store biomethane for at least 1 month. Last but not the least is the offtake. We are ready to provide offtake services for Ukrainian companies. And I'm happy to inform that we already made first two test deals with Ukrainian companies with simultaneous sale of this biomethane to European customers. And it can be interesting for Ukrainian, particularly small agricultural companies, because they can save costs on this highly qualified trading staff. No need to hire the staff in order to book capacities and to deal with international companies. And the contracts with Naftogaz can be used for attracting financing, and we are ready to offtake up to 100% of the annual production. So, summarizing, we believe in this market, and we are open for new cooperation. Thank you for attention.
I wish good luck, Naftogaz, with this new approach and business development. I think this is highly relevant for Ukrainian market producers of biomethane. And what about European producers? Do you also plan to cooperate with European producers of biomethane for offtake?
Yeah, I think it will be the next step. First, we are concentrated on Ukrainian market because we have the competence in this market. We understand how to deal. But I think further we will develop our trading activities in Europe as well.
Fantastic. Thank you. Adomas, now I would like to ask how MHP's experience of production and export of biomethane, including bio-LNG, and I know that you as the company that in practice is implementing this, not just production, but also transportation, exporting, you deal with all these challenges. Please share how you see it in real life, share some insights, how it is going on, and what is lacking from the side of the regulation of Ukraine, and what is lacking on the side of the regulation of European Commission regarding the European markets.
Thank you, Alexandra. Before I answer your questions, I want to say that Naftogaz is very, very good and reliable partner. We work with TSO and with Naftogaz, and I think it's unheard of in terms of how fast you can connect to the grid. It took us 8 months. I think in European Union it would take you 3 years. We managed to do that in 8 months, so I think that's a very good result. We also use Naftogaz as a shipper of our biomethane, so we're very, very happy with cooperation. We MHP, we produce right now 30 million cubic meters. Next year it will be 40 million cubic meters. And if everything is fine, in 2 years we will do 100 million cubic meters of biomethane. We do both. We do liquid and we grid inject. We do liquid only for the reason is that Ukraine, not Ukraine, but European market, certain countries, and I'm particularly spoke about Germany, they limit grid injected biomethane exports from third countries. Therefore, we have to liquefy so to enter the market. It's not efficient. It doesn't make any sense because the whole idea of biomethane is to decarbonize, to use less energy, to use less CO2. But when you liquefy, you need to spend energy. You need to ship it via trucks. There's additional energy, so it doesn't make sense. But it is what it is. We have certain regulatory barriers. Hopefully, they will be soon removed. In terms of grid-injected biomethane, one of the problems with biomethane sector is that it's very complex around regulation. In reality, Ukrainian biomethane doesn't differ in any way from Polish biomethane or French biomethane. It's same molecule, certified under the same protocols by auditors, so basically work in the same framework. And it's important to understand that biomethane is only a very small part of biofuels. It's maybe 2% of biofuel market, but biodiesel, for example, is 60%. Bioethanol is another 20%. So we're part of a very, very big market, which already has its regulatory environment. But for certain reason, biomethane, once you grid inject, all the problems start. And most of these problems are really miscommunications. They are not real, but we're working very hard to convene our position to European Commission. So far it's a bit slow, because what we need European Commission to provide written explanation that grid-injected biomethane fully complies with directive, if certain conditions are met, because it is. And the European Commission is a bit slow in reacting right now on this. The only difference with Ukrainian biomethane is that you need to transport it physically to European grid, and only then it becomes European. So the same regulation. And this is what exactly we do. We ship it to Europe, we inject it into European grid, and then it's managed the same as European biomethane. Ukraine, as discussed, has plenty of potential in biomethane production. Europe needs this biomethane. It won't be able to reach its sustainability objectives. And hopefully, the more we talk about this sector, the more and the faster things will move to fully open market for biomethane, Ukrainian biomethane in Europe. As I say, certain countries still introduce certain restrictive measures that usually goes against European regulation, but we have what we have as of now. But the future is bright, so I invite everyone to consider this industry and analyze potential projects in Ukraine, because Ukraine can be a substantial producer of biomethane for European customers.
Thank you so much. So, as I understand, your key message is that the Ukrainian market is quite large and there is space for more market players here.
Exactly, Ukraine has lots of potential to produce more. The only, I would say, disadvantage right now is certain regulatory barriers, because not all markets are open for us. We need to go and compete with biomethane that is subsidized. And the biomethane which is not subsidized, that market is not available for Ukrainians. So therefore, let's say a Danish producer, as an example, some of them receive subsidies from government, and then they go and market to the same market where Ukrainian producers sell. And of course, it's not level playing field. It's more difficult to compete. We wait until other markets, like German market, for example, will open, and prices are way more better. And as I say, there are also many misunderstandings regarding real problems. Pavel just mentioned regarding energy units. We fully comply to this criteria in terms of energy units, because all injected biomethane is already accounted into energy units, not in cubic meters. If we export, everything is done only in megawatt hours in energy units, because the gas trade cross-border is only megawatts. And once we withdraw biomethane in Ukraine, you have two things. You have cubic meters and you have energy density. So you can easily calculate, and directives allow for that, and ICC rules allow for that. So in reality, there are lots of miscommunication in terms of problems, but we rendered at least 3 legal opinions from very reputable companies. We never managed to find any problems in terms of our compliance with the directive.
Thank you, Adomas. And now, dear Anna, as you're representing KPMG Poland, I would kindly ask you to share what are the latest developments in biomethane market here in Poland in the regulatory framework. As we know, Poland is also in top 5 countries of European Union with largest potential for biomethane production. Please.
Thank you very much. Thank you for invitation. My name is Anna Szczodra. I'm head of energy sector in C region, covering all business lines, and I'm head of legal in KPMG Law. In KPMG, we are offering multidisciplinary offer, and we are able to help our clients from all large-scale investment projects, starting from pre-feasibility study, feasibility study, development phase, construction phase, COD phase. And also it covers biogas, biomethane, and hydrogen investment. Let me share with some data regarding Polish biogas sector, because we are observing dynamic growth. Now in Poland, we have 430 biogas plant and 1 biomethane plant in Strzelin recently opened. In Poland, we have 178 agriculture biogas plant, 57 small agriculture installation with capacity up to 50 kilowatts, and almost 100 landfill biogas plant. Altogether, we have total installed capacity around 300 megawatts, and we generate around 1.5 terawatt hours of electricity annually. So as you see, our sector is quite big, and exactly as you said, according to the European Biogas Association, Poland is one of the 5 European countries with the highest potential for biomethane production. And I believe that Poland and Ukraine can work together on development this sector. And frankly speaking, we can, from Poland perspective, also help you to develop your ambitions, especially in terms of regulation, in terms of grants, in terms of subsidy system. If we have a look on the main challenges as we observe in Poland, we can list it first of all the long-term administrative procedure in terms of permits, in terms of connection to the TSO. Of course, we have to add the quite high capex cost and still some construction risk in terms of EPC contractors, in terms of facilities in the execution phase. What was, let's say, the main game changer in Poland it was the auction system. Now in Poland we have, let's say, four kind of support system. We have green certificates, but they are applying not to new installed capacity. We have a feed-in premium system, feed-in tariffs, and auction system. It is really important to encourage foreign investor by developing such regulation, because still in biomethane, in renewable gases, we are trying to develop this market. So we need to show our investors that there is a potential in offtake, there is chance to enter long-term contracts agreement, and finally, a state is able to secure such revenues. So, summing up, I really believe that you can show, we can together show to the investor how to build the potential and common capabilities to develop this market in this region. So I'm really happy that you are thinking about supporting your integration with European markets through develop legislation to support renewables gases.
Thank you so much. I would like to ask all the panelists one question. Maybe it is, you will find out it's like similar questions to other panel discussions, but however, this is about biomethane, this is different. So what do you see is lacking to improve, to make more large-scale development of biomethane in Ukraine, in Poland, from your perspective? What would be helpful? What is lacking on the market, on market players, government regulations, investments, funding? What is lacking to make it, for example, next year, more large-scale development?
For sure, we need a stable legal framework. And this is the basic for the investors, to have the clear vision from the government about the subsidy system, about the grants, about the permits and grid conditions. But also, what is very important, it is the transparent trading rules and possibility to use exchange platform to create, let's say, the solid foundation for trade of such market. And I think such transparent trading rules and exchange platform can really help to encourage foreign investor to enter your market, but also Polish market. In terms of implementation of renewables directive, RED III directive, I have to admit that Poland is lagging behind the deadline, so we still have a lot of efforts to be done in coming future. But nevertheless, support of governments and transparent trading rules, from my perspective, are key factors to grow.
Thank you. Pavel, from perspective of a gas transmission system operator, what do you think is lacking for the next year large-scale more development of biomethane?
Yeah. I am not going to mention that the end of the war will help very much, but
For sure.
let's say that the lack of UDB, this is for me a problem because, you know, this is artificially green, because if you look at the biomethane, it is the same transparent like the natural gas. So the green, to have this CO2 certificate that you lower, you have to have this UDB. But maybe we can do something with Poland. Before the UDB will be involved in Europe, maybe we can do something bilaterally. We can explore it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Adomas, from the side perspective of a private investor in this sector, what do you think would be helpful for the next stage of large-scale development?
Well, to make this sector attracting more funds, we need to make sure that projects are bankable. In terms of commercial viability, they are bankable, but we need to remove certain barriers, as I told you, regulatory barriers. And I think we need a bit more communication to really understanding what the problems are and putting maybe some pressure also to the European Commission to lift certain things. For example, UDB, honestly, is not a problem at all, because until UDB is in place, and it's not in place, and it might be not in place for the next 5 years, it's possible, then there is a way how to work without UDB, because the market always worked without UDB for many years, and it can work without UDB. And actually, it does work right now with no UDB for gaseous fuels. So there are registries in different countries, and it's a fairly transparent system. UDB might not be in place because member states do not agree on the way it needs to work, and this is the reason why it might not be in place for a very long time. However, Ukraine can be one of the first countries to join in a way that UDB wants to join, because again, some member states, they have a different view on how it needs to operate. Ukraine will not negotiate that much and will join in any form or way, I believe, as UDB wants. And so that's very important. The other thing, we need member states, like Germany, for example, removing regulatory barriers, as I told you before. In their case, biomethane injected into the grid was not allowed even from other member states, but German government lost court 2 years ago, and it was German court that was decided that that was unlawful according to European rules. Right now, but this court decision did not involve 4 countries, and Ukraine, as a member of European energy community, has the same rights as member states, because European energy community works as single market for energy where you don't have any barriers and you have free movement of goods. So there is a route to go via court, but it will take many years. But Germany also right now simultaneously adopting RED-free law, and in that law they already foreseen solving this issue. So hopefully it will be solved soon. Then Ukraine needs to, for even more markets to open, we need to implement biomethane registry. We need guarantees of origin, Ukrainian ones. But before we do that, we need guarantees of origin to be recognized by European Commission first. And only once recognized, then we can start our biomethane registry. Because RED II says that 4 countries need to pass European Commission recognition procedure before their guarantees of origin are accepted. Because some member states have a system, so they market, you need proof of sustainability, one document that your biomethane is green, but you also need guarantees of origin. And the way market works is that your country needs to issue that guarantee of origin, and based on that guarantee of origin, they issue their guarantee of origin. So basically, those problems. In terms of feedstocks, Ukraine has feedstocks. In terms of capital, it's no issue at all. Capital will flow because I think that there are more capital right now that waits for good projects than projects in Ukraine. So mostly regulatory issues.
Thank you very much. Dear Denis, from the perspective of Naftogaz, regarding as a trader of take, what do you see would be helpful to develop more biomethane projects next year?
Well, not to repeat everything that already was said, I want to mention that Ukraine is basically agricultural companies. There are thousands of agricultural companies, and not all of them are aware that their waste can be transformed into energy. There are options. If agricultural company is small, there are options how to combine their efforts in order to construct a large biomethane plant. The model that is used in a lot of European companies. So the awareness of small Ukrainian agricultural firms is the very important thing to develop this market.
Good point regarding raising awareness. I think this is not just for Ukraine, maybe for Poland as well, relevant regarding the importance of and possibilities for agricultural sector in biomethane. All right, thank you very much, dear speakers and guests. I believe that maybe it would be possible to develop some letter of joint opinion of our panel discussion, and not to be just people who are saying, but we can deliver some messages to European Commission and other stakeholders in this regard. I wish all a very nice, safe evening, and hope to see you soon, and maybe to see more biomethane new projects. Thank you.
Thank you.